Hi friends, it's Terry Stewart, Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Welcome to my Stamping is Fun channel. Today I have a May Suite of the Month project for you. The Suite of the Month in May is the Oval Occasions Bundle. So let's get started. The May Suite of the Month is the Oval Occasions stamp set and coordinating double oval punch. The double oval punch has a large scalloped edged oval and a smaller straight edged oval, and they layer each other, so it's really cool that these two go together so easily. And the sayings and images in the Oval Occasion stamp set coordinate within these punches. So you have a bunny punch, you have some images of stars and hearts and floral. So I find that this stamp set is really, really versatile because it has the birthday greeting, a baby greeting, a thank you greeting. If you're making little treats, celebrate. I've used this bunny image for Easter, and the other stamp of the month video I've done makes a baby card with welcome little ones, and this pairing it with this bunny image. This is a great St. Patrick's Day, so lucky to know you. So this stamp set can be used on a variety of cards. The project I'm showing you today is a Sweet Friend, and I loved it. This DSP, the snail mail, has all these little snails, and to me they look like friends. And I've cut a few out here for my friend. I've used some of the stamping, the heart images on the back and on the inside, as well as the envelope. So let's get started. So for my customers who participate in the Suite of the Month, this month of May, they received a kit in the mail that has all the pieces to create this card. So we have a card base, red cardstock, some white cardstock, some Bermuda Bay cardstock, as well as some pieces of the snail mail DSP. All the measurements for the project that I'm going to be showing you can be found on my blog at stampinghair.blogspot.com. So I'm going to be starting by stamping. I'm going to stamp on the front of my card. I'm going to stamp on the inside of my card. And then I have a piece of scrap white that I'm going to be putting my sentiment on. So the sentiment I'm using is the Sweet Friend with my Memento Black ink. I have a piece of a scrap of white cardstock, and I'm going to stamp. And then bring in my double oval punch. And for this one, I'm using the bottom oval, and I just want to center this towards the bottom so I have room for my little snail friends on it. While I have my punch out, I'll be punching the larger scalloped punch as a layer. So now I'm bringing in my heart image stamp and some real red ink. I'm going to stamp on the front of the card, and I'm going to create these diagonals for the heart. And I'll start down here in the lower left and just stamp in a line. This is a technique where you create your own background, kind of your own DSP, if you will. Now for my inside piece, I'm going to do in the corners, stamp in the corners, and then rotate my stamp and stamp there. This stamp also fits within these ovals, and you can see it's kind of curved, and it would fit on either the small oval or the scalloped oval. And I'm going to use the same image on my envelope, and I'm going to have these hearts kind of floating across the bottom. And I'm just rotating my stamp each time to give this a curved effect of hearts. I think it just looks like they're floating across the bottom. And that's all the stamping for this project. As I said, my card front, I have fussy cut 3 little snails. I have a couple scraps of my snail mail DSP that I'm going to cut these snails from. So I am taking 2 with the red shell and then 1 with the yellow shell. And if you hold your paper with your left hand, keep your scissors and go in one direction, you can steer with your left hand around the image. And then the final one with the yellow shell. And now it's time to assemble. So my card base is a piece of Blushing Bride. It's a half sheet of cardstock, and then I've scored it in the middle in half. So it's a half sheet and folded in half. And I'm using my bone folder to crisp up that score line. Now it's time to put the inside piece in. And this is actually, I've cut it a little bit smaller. So this would be a second layer here in the US. This is 5 by 3 3/4. And to make it easy, that's the same size that the white piece on the front. Now this is a layer, so we're going to put our red layer first. Here in the US, this would be 4 by 5 1/4. Again, you can visit my blog for all the measurements. Layer 1 is a 1/4 inch smaller than the front of the card. And now the second layer is 3 3/4 by 5, and this is the same size that we use for our insert. I didn't stamp all the way down because the DSP will cover that. And then speaking of DSP, we can put these have on the bottom. You can see the lovely patterns with the snails and the mail theme. I like this pattern because it had these scribbles like you were writing to your friend. So I chose it. And now our layering pieces. We'll be gluing all this DSP to their layer cardstock layers. I'm just centering it right, left, top, bottom. These are such fun colors. The patterns are so fun. I think my friend will like this card. And now for our punched layer. Now this one, I put some glue on it, but I'm going to put it, instead of centering it in the punch, I'm going to put it more towards the bottom. So when our snail friends have room at the top, when we put them on. So I like the yellow one in the middle, the yellow friend, and the two little friends off to the side, on either side. And a little bit of glue to put those in place. There's friend number 1, friend number 2 on. Just a little dab of glue. And then friend number 3 here. And then this piece, I'll be adding some dimensionals on the back side. This will get popped up, give a little interest. And I always have dimensionals on my projects. I just love dimensionals. Okay, now these 3 panels, if you can see, these are very similar. So I'm gonna put them, separate them just because they are kind of similar with this image. Well, even though this is the same image, different colors, so it's a little bit different. And I want to get about the same distance from the top and the side, and then I'll do the one on the right the same, kind of eyeball it, and then the third panel just fits between them. This is the way I'll be putting these down with some adhesive. So this card really goes together rather quickly, and I think the colors are fun. And my friend who receives this, I think she'll like it too. And then for the final piece, remove these dimensional covers from our oval, punched oval. And then I'm going to center this, I would like to hide this DSP line in the back. So I'm going to put that over it and then center it right and left. There we go, the finished card. I'm sure any of my sweet friends would love to have this. Thank you so much for joining me. I enjoyed bringing you this fun project. Subscribe to my channel so I can bring you even more fun projects. And until then, remember, stamping is fun.